Cancer, hi. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a general message. As always, this is for anyone with prominent Cancer placements in your birth chart. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, you have the card of the Star Born from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck from Kim Krans. I've been using this archetype deck, this oracle deck, to help me through the channeling and to get the messages before every reading. So let's talk about it. So what I was getting as I was going through your energy, a few things. Before I talk about the Starborn, I did get a vision and a feeling of some of you recently getting a surprise or some sort of like message where it just took you back. Okay. Like it came out of nowhere. You weren't expecting it and you've been thinking about it ever since. And I'm not saying like a text message. It could be, I don't know. This is more like a universal divine situation. Okay. It could have been maybe some of you went to get a reading, right? Like a tarot reading or something like that. And what the person told you just sort of blew you away. Or, I don't know, maybe some sort of coincidence or synchronistic moment happened and it just opened your eyes to something that you never thought of before, or it opened your eyes to a part of you that you have never seen before. It also feels like you don't know what you're really capable of. You don't know what you're really here to do. Like if you only, like the universe is saying, like if you only knew what you're here to do, you would maybe act differently, see yourself differently, make different choices. It's like there's a feeling, and then the Starborn card came out validating this, but there's a feeling of, your purpose or you being bigger than what you think you are, right? You having more influence than what you think you do, or your presence, right? Maybe it's healing or it triggers other people to wake up or something like there's a job, there's a purpose, there's a destiny. And, people have different viewpoints and belief systems around destiny, whether it's a real thing or we have freedom of choice, whatever the case is. But there is something about your soul, there's something about your spirit, your energy field, this lifetime for you. And I think that the cancers that I'm seeing in my mind's eye, right? Like that I was channeling, that I saw, and I saw a woman, a female cancer and a male cancer here. So it was like these people were chosen. These people were picked. You have a role to play. You are of some sort of influence or you impact others. And I think that for cancers in general, I am a cancer, so speaking from experience, we definitely impact people, and whether it's positive or negative, right? Like there's always some sort of experience that people gain by being around us or, being acquainted with us in some way, right? It's not like if we can help it, but the mothers, right? The nurturer, as the archetype that brings things to life, the cancer, there is influence that we do have. And I think that, sometimes we forget that. So there's also the Starborn also talks about your birth. All right. It also talks about the moment that you were born, how the constellations were transiting at that time. So, in relation to maybe your birth chart, I don't know, some sort of like reading, right? That talks about your birthday, your birth chart, planetary alignments, your numerology, or what is this? Like sometimes we talk about soul family, soul lineage based off of the day, time that you were born, the location you were born. So there's so many different modalities, when we refer to spiritualism and the different techniques that spiritualists dive into. Okay, so it's not just astrology. I don't know all of them, but I know that there's more than astrology. But there's something that has to do with the moment of time, the moment and time that you were born. So, and then it's also like, okay, well, what are you here for? Right? Like this purpose, this destiny that you have. What is it? I feel like some of you were just privy and somehow you got a taste or that initial message of what it is that you are here to do. I'm also feeling and getting right now that I'm sitting in your energy. You have been here for so long. Like your soul, your spirit, it's like a master, an expert at Earth school or Earth. Does that make sense? Like, how can I say this? Let's just say, give an example of a scholar or a student, right, in college that has been in school for so many years. They know the ins and outs of it. They know the process procedures. They know the campus. They know, everything about it, right? Because they've been here they've been at that school or going to that school for so long, it feels like that. Like your soul is an expert at navigating through different lifetimes here on Earth. So therefore, because you're an expert, you can relate and teach others how to get through these lifetimes. Maybe some of you don't even see yourself really as human, or you don't refer to yourself as, how can I say, like really human? Like it's more of, when you talk about people, you refer to them as humans, but you don't add yourself or include yourself in that group. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. Like if you're talking about humans, even though you are a human, it's like humans do this, humans think this way, humans have this type of behavior. Even though you are a human, you don't see yourself like that. You don't come across that way when you are speaking and when you are teaching or influencing others or something like that. But it does feel like because you have been here for so long, some of you, your purpose is to help others wake up, to help others see the truth, to help others navigate through their life, by opening their perspective on what this life is really about. So that's interesting. All right, so let's see what's in the personal energy here. You have the 10 of Cups. You have the 4 of Cups. And you have the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's a job, huh? This is a job. You're like, here I am again, another lifetime, This is my role. This is what I do here. This is why I come here. You don't take it seriously, right? Like you don't take the life experience too serious. You appreciate the beauty. That's why you keep coming. You know that there's a lot to gain here through these lifetimes living on this planet. You know that there's trials and tribulations and things that you have to learn and all this stuff. I also feel like every time you wake up, every time you come to this life or come to Earth, right? Another life. It's like, okay, you go through a small moment being quote unquote human, and perceiving and thinking in those ways until quickly you wake up and then you have the answers. And then the rest of your lifetimes, you get to teach everybody else how to live and how to navigate through this place. What was I saying? Yeah, so you appreciate the beauty of it. You appreciate, and that's why you keep coming. But at the same time, it's like you've done this so much. So let's bring it back down to Earth and let's root this energy a little bit more so we're not continuously just talking about this, big picture thinking and you being a galactic being in a human body. But it does seem as though you love and support and family and union togetherness are a focus at this time. You also have work that is a focus. And in between this, there's something missing. All right. I don't know. So we'll see what that's about. There's an emotional feeling, an emotional tie. There's a little bit of like feeling unsatisfied or not content. I'm feeling like there's a gap. There's a void somewhere. Okay. You know that you're blessed. You know you have a beautiful life. You have, everything you need. Your family is okay. Your family's taken care of. But there's something else here. You're working on something and you're focusing very hard. It could be like work taking up a lot of your time and energy. It could be you building or creating something. You have a time limit. Or you're just diving into this like repetitive process of working on something because there's a feeling of being empty and there's a void. And I'm thinking that your process, or you're thinking to yourself, if you just continue to do this thing over and over and over again and really just zone in or zone out as you are creating this thing or hammering, right? The worker here, you'll start to realize what it is that you are missing. Like the answers will come this way for you. The answers will come by you doing some kind of repetitive work here. What else? Yeah, I don't know if you're satisfied with yourself right now. It's like you're doing all this work to help others. There's like a pivotal moment where, how can I say this? It's like you look at what you've created. At some point, you have to pick up your head, right? At some point, you have to look up and look around. It's like you're a workaholic, someone who does work just to distract themselves so they don't have to face the thing that they are not happy about. And it does feel personal. It feels like it's something about you, something about yourself that you're not satisfied with. I feel that this person also puts a lot of pressure on themselves, has high standards for themselves, feels like they should be at a place, another place, a better place by now, by this time of their life. Someone feels, and I'm so sorry, I don't know if this is you or we're picking up on someone else, and this is, but it does feel like someone is feeling like they're a failure here. So they're just working to overcompensate for the lack that they feel about themselves. But going back to the channeling, again, it's like if you only knew your gift to this world, if you only knew your gift to yourself, even, to your family, to your surroundings, your environment, like you wouldn't see yourself this way. Someone has, and I feel this too, I don't know if it already happened or it's going to happen, but there's going to be a big moment where the universe is going to communicate with you the way the universe does. I always say the universe doesn't speak English, right? The universe communicates with us in synchronicity and coincidence and signs and symbols and all of that. But the universe is going to communicate with you and let you know, like, either what your purpose is, the direction that you need to go on, but it's going to open your eyes and remind you that you have a job. Okay, you're here to influence others. You're here to guide others. You're here to help others live through their life, not hold their hand, no, but as an influence, as someone that they can mirror, right? How you think, how you communicate, your belief system, how open your mind is, how much of the truth about this world and these lives that we live, you knowing more truth about that. Just by you communicating this, it helps others remember who they are. It helps others remember why they're here, or open up, their eyes and get out of the quote unquote, so like matrix type of thing, right? So something like that along those lines is what I'm feeling. And I also know that when we are feeling like this, when we are not content, our surroundings and everything in our life is great, but there is a lack within us. There's also a need to connect with source, with God, with spirit, with the universe, with your higher self, whatever you want to call it. It's usually around those lines, around that you're lacking, right? Like once you have a good, solid connection with source, this lack mentality or this feeling of failure or that feeling that something is missing, that void tends to dissipate. It's like somebody here is saying, why am I even doing this? Why am I working on this thing? It doesn't mean anything. Like I'm doing all of this for nothing or something like that. If you're too focused on the outer world, if you're too focused on the materialism, on consumerism, on the news or politics or whatever, all of the matrixy stuff that isn't really a connection to your soul, to your spirit, then yeah, of course you're going to feel a void. Of course you're going to feel a void. Like there's no way around that. Like at this point, we should all know that. All right. Especially if you're listening to this type of stuff. If you're too busy thinking about money and your status, your title, what you have, what other people have, like, I don't know, like that is outdated. Like that stuff is not where we're headed as a collective, as humanity at this time. This is integration with ourself, integration with spirit, with the universe, going internal and finding that connection. If you're yearning and you know that something is missing, that's where you need to go. Okay. Let's see what else is coming through. Let's go into the environment for the Cancer. What is in the environment? This could be just your situation or circumstance that you find yourself in. It could be other people in your life that have a really strong influence on you at this time. Could be the drivers and the situation, like why you are feeling the way you are feeling up here in your personal energy. I'm hearing you're more important than you think you are. Strength. Page of Wands. Yeah, there's an opportunity here to start something that you have been wanting to do for a really long time. And it will take a lot of this, your inner strength to do this, your courage. I'm feeling that somebody has to fight themselves and their negative self-talk to get this going, to get this, up and running. Whatever this Page of Wands, new idea, new inspiration, new hobby, a creative endeavor, something like that, endeavor. Yeah, like fighting your mind, fighting the shadow, fighting the dark side of your mind that tells you cannot do something, there's no point in doing this thing, like, who are you kidding, blah, blah, blah. I always say, like, we are here for an average of 80 years or so. What else should we be doing? Like, you might as well do the thing that you want to do. You might as well do the thing that you love, that you're passionate about, that you're interested in. Whether that's a long-standing interest that you had since you were a child or an adolescent, whatever. Or if you're the type that has different interests that come and go throughout life, it doesn't matter. Like, you might as well do it. What else are you going to do? Just waste every day until you die, right? Like, thinking of it from a perspective that we're not here for that long. you know, we live an average of this many years. You might as well do the thing. But for some of you, whatever this interest is, whatever this idea or spark is, it's taken you a while to get here. Like, for you to either have an opportunity to do it, or maybe you've been working on it slowly and steadily. And now it's like, okay, let's go. Let's get this going. You have strength twice. And it's taking all it's taking all of your bravery and courage, you know, to like really get out there. I'm feeling that some of you have influence. Like, there's a platform, right? Like maybe like YouTube or, you know, social media or something like that, where it's like you need your, whatever this is requires that you are seen, requires that you show up, you know, in some way. And it's like, maybe that's a little intimidating for you, but you're excited about it. You're passionate about it. You're just taking your sweet time. And I think you're taking your time because you're a little scared and intimidated by this situation. At the same time, this comes with an immense amount of recognition, an immense amount of power. So I get it. I get how this could be a little intimidating. But some of you may have Leo in your chart, like prominent Leo energy. But this is definitely a new start. It's like taking a leap. You have the Fool here. You know that if you take this leap, it's going to put you on a new timeline. It's going to put you on a new path. Your life is going to change drastically here. And I think that that's why you're taking your time. But there's that missing piece that is also preventing you from taking the plunge, from jumping into this thing. Because once you're in it, I do feel that it has a lot of fast-paced energy. You have the King of Swords. And the Ten of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Cancer, you have to do this. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do it. But you should. Man. This has like the potential to take you to levels that you probably never saw coming. And you're probably more of the humble type here as well, even though there's this Leo strength energy coming through. But the Ten of Pentacles here is the life. There is recognition, like I said, I was feeling that, but there's also abundance. There's prosperity. There's, you know, creating a new root system or foundation for yourself that has probability of growing. I feel like an increase in your finances, an increase in your business or something like that. Someone is really smart when it comes to business or how they make their money. You know that this is the way to go. Like that, you know that. Whether you want to do it, whether you feel ready to do it, that's another story. But you know that this is the right thing. It's a smart thing. It's the logical way, the logical thing to do. And it does require you to say, F it. Okay? Like, this is an all or nothing type of feeling. Two of Cups. There's relationship here. There's another person. This could be you going toward another person. Knight of Wands. Ten of Wands. The Hierophant. Well, there's another person here coming through. They are very passionate, enthusiastic, but I don't know if you can necessarily like trust them or depend on them. All right. So they can push you and tell you like, you know, like be your cheerleader or be your number one fan, you know. Like they have all of this vitality, they have all of this energy. But I don't know if they necessarily can do the dirty work and get their hands dirty with you. It's like a decision here. Decision, you know, like, do I take this person with me or do I not? Or do I jump in this relationship with this person or do I not? Because there's that element of a new start. Okay, you making a decision, getting all of your courage and your strength to push through this and go for it. But the King of Swords here is very discerning. The King of Swords is like observing, you know, and cutting through to get the truth. Okay, there's an element of finding the truth here because you have this foundation. You have, how can I say, the upper hand in a way. You're set. Like you have what you need. And so it's like, okay, who's coming with me? You know, this person is just a little bit too flighty. It's like, yeah. Like, let's do this. Like, I'm in. And, you know, like all these ideas and all this passion, enthusiasm, whatever. But then it's just like when the going gets tough, when they need to show up and do their part or something like that, like, I don't think that they're there. I think that that's too hard for them to do here with the 10 of Wands. Something becomes a burden. This person may feel like a burden to you even, and to your plans here, you know. 2 of Cups with the Hierophant. There is a level of commitment as well. But more than anything, the Hierophant is making me feel like, what do you stand for? What are your belief systems? What are your boundaries? Like, who are you? Knowing yourself completely to determine, you know, how can I say, like, this, the type of energy that you want to have in your life. We'll get some more information about that. Let's see what else is coming through for the Cancer. If you're relating to this reading in any way, please like the video, press the little thumbs up button. I would really, really appreciate it. It does help the channel out. I do these readings because I enjoy them and I'm passionate about tarot. So if you want a personal reading with me, the readings are very similar to this. It's just personalized, of course. So my email address is in the description of the video. You can just shoot me an email and I will get back to you. What else is coming through for the Cancer? Ooh, beautiful. The High Priestess. The Hanged Man. Wow. Okay. There's some silence. The 9 of Wands. You have the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Wands. And the Mother of Cups or the Queen of Cups, which is your energy here. The Hermit at the bottom. Someone's going silent. All right. I don't know what, there's not a better way to say that. Someone is definitely going silent. There is a lot of observation happening here. What is going on? If you're cross-watching for a Cancer, just know that the Cancer knows more than they are leading on. And that is usually the case. Sorry. Sorry for blowing your cover, Cancer, but yeah. We always know, and you'll only know that the Cancer knows if they want you to. Because other than that, we act like nothing is wrong. But yeah, something is up here. What is happening down here? You're using your spidey senses, your intuition. There is no Cancer who is not born with that strong sense of knowing. You're definitely taking a step back. You're putting a pause on something. You could be putting a pause on the situation with this Knight of Wands person here. Truth, there's some sort of clarity and like realization coming through with the Hierophant. The Hierophant doesn't necessarily speak to that, but it does speak to this energy of like, I know who I am, right? And I know what's right for me. And so if the Hierophant sees that something is just messy and chaotic a little, you know, the Hierophant's going to be like, this is not for me, right? So there is some awareness coming through here on your part. And I think that it has to do with this person, because this person is very different from all of the other energy that I'm feeling. But you are definitely taking a step back here. You're putting up some boundaries. You're putting up some walls. You need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, your heart. There's some emotional, sensitive energy. I don't know. This has to do with like, it's not just you that you're thinking about, right? Like usually with the Cancer energy, their family, especially their kids and their partners, are of priority. So it's not just you that you're thinking, right? Like you're thinking about who you're responsible for. So there's a reason that you have put a pause here. And you're just like, I'm not going to continue. You may be ghosting. You may be not responsive, really quiet at this time. Once you come into this realization and you see this Knight of Wands energy. But let's keep going and let's get some clarifiers. So we'll start with the Strength card and the Fool. What is this energy about? You have the Knight of Cups. Okay. You have the Six of Pentacles. And the Ten of Swords. There's an ending here. Someone has felt betrayed. I don't know if there's like an apology that has come through, which is the fact that there's an apology also denotes this new beginning in some way, right? So it's like somebody comes and says they're sorry, or maybe you're saying they're sorry, whatever. Let's start over. Let's start fresh. Let's put this behind us and move forward, right? So with the Fool here being this new start. I don't know, somebody is like wanting help. Somebody feels that they need help to start new, start fresh. It's like, I can't do this alone type of conversation. Somebody is saying, you hurt me. You know, somebody is overcoming it and healing with the Strength card here, like rising above it, taking the high road. But yeah, this person was hurt. And there is thoughts around something being reciprocal, right? Like, is this a good balance? Is this a good give and take relationship, partnership? Am I giving more than what I'm getting? You know, am I taking this more seriously than another person is? Is this even taking away from the rest of my life, right? Like sometimes that does happen, you know, when the wrong energy comes into our life and so much goes into that partnership or that relationship. And it doesn't have to just be romantic. It could be any type of partnership. But it just takes and sucks things, energy from us that it takes away from the rest of our life, you know? So it's just something to think about here. But that's what it feels like. Someone was hurt, there was an apology, and there's a realization that, you know, this is not adding anything to my life. This is just taking from me. What is the King of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Your livelihood, your life in general, what you have built, your foundation, you know, what you continue to build, your plans for your future, like everything, your legacy, your family, your root system. It's just like thinking to yourself, like, I need to be clear about it. I need to think about this from a logical perspective, you know, take my emotion out of this situation for right now. Like, what really is this? Do I really want this? Is this the right thing to have in my life? Ooh, 2 of Pentacles. You have the Fool card wanting to come out here. Like, you're just thinking, like, should I or shouldn't I at this point? Page of Swords. There's a lot of communication around this. Someone is ready for the next chapter. I feel that strongly. Like someone is just like, okay, let's just go already. You know, like I have plans. I have a vision. I want to do this. I want to get this going, you know, and it's just, I don't know if there's a setback or there has been a setback here in some way. Again, something is taking a very long time to happen. And over here, it's like you're being smart, strategic, logical, practical about this relationship at this point. And you might be communicating a lot of this to your person at this time. You got the Queen of Wands. So we are clarifying the 2 of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Clarified by the Queen of Wands. So this is definitely your person. 3 of Swords. Ace of Cups. I don't know. Oof. I don't know. This Queen of Wands is also feels like male or female, betrayed. I do feel that somebody is in their shadow for sure. I mean, come on. I don't know if you can see that. Again, I'm sorry if you can't. I don't see the screen when I pulled the cards up. But somebody is definitely in their shadow right now. Somebody might be using their sexuality for revenge or to influence a situation as well. Someone is coming from a place of hurt. Yeah, someone has been hurt. There's loss, there's betrayal in some way here. One more for this. Nope. That one wanted to come out. This is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, there's oof, this is sharp energy here. very fiery as well. Somebody's communicating extremely passionately, a little bit aggressive. Someone has their defenses up, they're on guard. But when you are communicating with this person and they are coming off this way, like, you know, it's important to take yourself and detach yourself from the situation so you could see where they're really coming from, because they're coming from a place of hurt. This person has been hurt. And this is how they're choosing to project that pain. What is the 10 of Wands in the Hierophant? The 8 of Wands. The 8, geez Louise, the 8 of Swords. Ooh, someone's being very impulsive. The Page of Cups, and immature and how they're handling the situation. And I think whoever's up here, I think that that's you, is just like watching. That's probably why you're going ghost. You're probably going silent, which is aggravating them even more. But they're just like, this is too much, you know. It's like they're going back and forth between this feeling like your ability to really stand firm on your decisions and on your word, your convictions, and, you know, your belief on your, you know, this situation, yourself, life, whatever. It's like so strong. I'm feeling that somebody cannot persuade you any differently, and they are feeling aggravated about that. Like that is irritating them. And they don't know how to take that. And so they are projecting in a certain way. And this could be vice versa. It doesn't just have to be you. It could be, you know, them. I don't know. But it just feels like I said, when the going gets tough, because you're so set on what you want and how you want it and all the things, they see that as too much, you know, and they go back and forth between being irritated about it, but also feeling trapped, like they can't get out of it. You know, I think at the roots of this, somebody wants to get out of a situation and they just can't, or they don't know how, or something. Like it feels very out of control. Someone is out of control. Their emotions are too high. They're too fluctuating. They're coming from a very shadowy place. And it's very immature. What is the High Priestess and the Hangman? Now, if this is like, I don't know, but I feel called or the need to say this. So I have a Cancer stellium. Okay, I have the Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus in Cancer. And I know everybody is different, okay? But I will say that from my experience, not just for myself, but with the Cancer energy, the Cancer profile, personality in general, in the beginning of their life, they cannot function very well emotionally. They don't know where to focus their emotional energy toward. The Cancer is a cardinal water sign. They are emotion, okay? They pick up on the energy of their environment and of other people, and they are constantly fluctuating as well, right? They're ruled by the moon. The moon goes through different signs every 2 days. The moon has so many different phases monthly. They're ever changing. And when they are not awakened and when they don't come to terms with the fact that they have these fluctuating emotions on a constant basis, it tends to show up very chaotic in the beginning of their life. So this is like adolescence, early adulthood, or just in general, Cancerians who have not matured, right, and really come to terms with this about themselves. So it also makes me feel that way as well. I don't know if this is you or another person, but it's like the control factor is another thing. We can go on about that as well. The Cancer control, forget it. The Cancer control, along with a Cancer who cannot control their emotions, but they need to control their environment. They need to control their partners. They need to control their kids. They need to control everything else around them because they are lacking the control within them. And so it comes out this way, eventually, usually, with maturity, experience, awareness and all of that stuff, like we realize it and we work on it, but not without major moments like this that I'm feeling where somebody is just off their rocker a little bit. And I'm not saying that it's you, it could be somebody else, I don't know. But, if you're dealing with somebody like this and they have Cancer placements and maybe they're younger or just haven't worked on this part of them, this could be a big reason why. It's because they have so much emotion and they need to control their environment so much that when they don't have that control, they lose it. Yeah, somebody is just going through it right now. And it could be another person. You may be dealing with a Cancer or somebody with Cancer energy, but whoever this reading is for, what I'm picking up on is you're just like observing this situation, And it's just like, do I want this person in my life? Is this person adding or taking away? I just felt like this timing thing where it's like you're late for the next phase because you are here with this person dealing with this stuff that you should have already started on the next phase of your life or already started on a specific project or something like that. And it's just like it's putting you behind, more and more behind. And by me saying what I just said about a more immature Cancer who has not been able to control their emotions yet, it's also not your job to walk them through that, or how can I say, hold their hand, like I said in the beginning, right? Like it's not your job to hold their hand, but by you having this bigger perspective on life and understanding life a little bit more than this person does, it may help them. Doesn't mean that they are not going to fight it the entire way. They're probably fighting that. But at what point do you just say enough is enough? I've done enough, I can't walk you through your journey. I'm here to experience my own journey, right? And if our journeys are not aligned, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. For the majority of the connections that we come across throughout life, our journeys are not the same. They're very specific and individualistic. So they're not aligned, then they're not aligned, and that's all right. Not everybody is meant to go the next phase with us, The High Priestess and the Hanged Man has the Ace of Coins and the Hermit. Again, very quiet energy. You're just working on this quietly for yourself, for sure. By this point, it's like no talking, no conversation, no responses. And therefore, you're just like working on your thing, which is good. 7 of Pentacles. You're reevaluating, reassessing a situation. Here's the High Priestess again. And the 2 of Pentacles. So at the end of all of this, as you are needing to get out of this situation, or you have chosen to get out of this situation, I think that being productive, focusing on your goals and, what it is that you want to create, that you're working on, taking all that courage with you to just move forward is going to help with this healing process. You're not satisfied, like I said in the beginning, but you'll get there. Just stay connected to yourself, to what it is that you know to be true about yourself, what it is that you know to be true about your life and what you want for yourself, the vision you have, what you're called to do, what you feel passionate about, right? Like all of those things. Don't forget about that. That is going to help you move forward and move on from this situation. And just, come from a place of love where you wish the other person well, right? All right, let's see what is in the Work Your Light, or what the Work Your Light Oracle has to say. Let's get a message from the universe, message of guidance, of inspiration, final thoughts here. Get a card for the Cancer. The initiation. Ooh. So this says rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Wow. This is making me feel like this was not for nothing. If you are thinking that, which I felt that in the beginning when I was saying somebody is thinking like, what's the point? Why am I even doing this? It's not for nothing. You needed to experience this relationship, this connection. It taught you something about yourself. That's for sure. Okay. The initiation. All right, let's see if I can hold it up or you can see it, because I can't see the screen. Okay, so some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You're being tested. Initiated because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, of meaning. Initiations like rites of passage mark the shift from one age to the next, and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. If you are in the middle of an initiation right now, you will get through it, and one day soon you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you're closer than you think. Wow. That is everything that I was getting from your channeled message in the beginning of this video, this reading. There's more meaning than what you think at this time. Like where you're going is not what you even thought of or what you expected. And every experience that you've gone through, even this one, you needed to go through that in order for you to have the wisdom, the experience in some way, because that is needed for where you are going. Beautiful. Thank you so much, as always, Cancer, for allowing me to be your reader and to pick up on your energy through these readings. If you like the video, click the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Check out your rising sign, your moon sign, your partner sign even. I hope everything works out, and we'll see you on the next one.